Across the dry grasslands of Africa, a family of banded mongooses begins another long search for food. They move close to the ground, almost disappearing between the brittle stems. Claws rake through loose soil, while narrow snouts probe beneath roots and stones. A beetle, termite, or buried larva offers only a few mouthfuls, but every discovery matters. Then one mongoose suddenly stops. Beyond the grass, a herd of African buffalo is moving slowly across the savanna. Adults form a heavy wall of muscle, horn, and dark hide. Calves remain close to their mothers, protected within the shifting group. To a mongoose, these animals are moving giants. One careless step could crush it instantly. But something on one young calf has caught the mongoose's attention. Its head jerks to one side. Small waves pass across the skin of its neck and shoulders. Around the base of the ears, beneath the jaw, and inside the folds of the upper legs, dark clusters cling tightly to the hide. Ticks. For the calf, they are persistent parasites. For the mongoose, they may be banded mongooses spend much of their day foraging. Although they travel as a family, each individual usually searches for its own meal. They dig rapidly, turn over debris, and investigate disturbed soil for beetles, termites, larvae, and other small prey. The rewards are small, so hunger keeps them moving and sometimes forces them to take risks. The open grassland is never completely safe. Snakes may remain hidden beneath vegetation. Eagles can attack from above. Jackals and larger carnivores may appear without warning. Even animals that have no interest in hunting a mongoose can become deadly simply because of their size. Ahead, the buffalo herd continues at a slow pace. Most of the adults carry at least a few visible ticks. In the African savanna, contact with these parasites is common. Ticks wait on vegetation, holding onto grass stems until a passing animal brushes against them. Once aboard a host, they search for a protected place to attach. Thin skin and areas difficult to groom provide ideal feeding sites. The young calf carries a noticeably heavier burden than the animals around it. Dense groups are concentrated near the ears, along the lower jaw, beneath the neck, across parts of the belly, and around the upper legs. Why this calf has more visible ticks cannot be determined from a single encounter. It may have crossed vegetation carrying more parasites. Age, immune response, body condition, grooming, or chance may also influence the infestation. Different tick species favor different body regions, especially protected folds. Once a hard tick anchors its mouth parts in the skin, its body slowly expands as it feeds. Removing it is not always easy. The mongooses do not immediately rush toward the calf. Most of the family continues searching the ground, apparently unaware of the opportunity. But the first mongoose keeps watching. The calf shakes its head again. The movement may reveal the parasites more clearly. The mongoose advances several steps, then stops. It is not approaching because it understands the calf's discomfort. It is not attempting a rescue. Its behavior is driven by the possibility of food. Yet reaching that food means entering one of the most dangerous places on the savanna. Beneath a herd of buffalo, an adult African buffalo can weigh several hundred kilograms. The mongoose weighs only a few. The difference is so extreme that the buffalo does not need to attack deliberately. A hoof placed in the wrong spot would be enough. The calf's mother is the greatest obstacle.
Sniff, sniff.
She remains close,
Rustle.
turning whenever movement passes through the grass. Her broad horns face outward, and every step changes the narrow paths between her legs. The mongoose waits. When a mother lifts one rear hoof, it moves forward. The moment the foot returns to the ground, the mongoose freezes. Another buffalo crosses the opening. The small hunter disappears into the grass. It circles to the side and tries again. This time, it reaches the calf's lower rear leg. The mongoose lowers its nose toward a fold in the skin, but the calf reacts immediately. Its muscles twitch. The leg lifts. The mongoose jumps backward just before the hoof comes down. The mother turns. Her horns now point toward the place where the mongoose vanished. She does not charge. She does not need to. Her size, posture, and position are enough to stop the approach. The herd grows still again. Dust drifts between their legs, but the mongoose has not gone far. It reappears several meters away and begins another careful route, avoiding the rear feet and moving toward the calf's lower neck. Here, several swollen ticks are exposed along the edge of a skin fold. The mongoose rises briefly onto its hind legs. Its jaws snap toward one parasite. The first pull fails. The tick remains anchored. The surrounding skin stretches, but its mouth parts hold firm. The mongoose drops down, changes its footing, and looks up again. It grips the parasite a second time. This pull is stronger. The tick comes free. The mongoose falls back with the tiny prize between its teeth. A quick chew and swallow, and the approach is over. After all that risk, the reward is only one tick. But on a day when every small meal matters, even one may be worth the effort. Other members of the family have now noticed what happened. Two mongooses leave the foraging line and move toward the calf. One investigates the upper leg. Another approaches beneath the jaw. They are not a coordinated cleaning team. Each acts independently, testing whether it can reach an edible parasite without being stepped on. One animal stretches toward a tick, but releases it when the calf moves. Another appears to remove a smaller parasite near the leg. A third gets close to the jaw, then retreats as the mother shifts her weight. The mongooses dart forward only when a gap opens. The calf tolerates them briefly, but continues flicking its ears and moving its legs. The mother watches every approach. Above the mongooses, horns and hooves move through the dust. Then the mother steps closer to her calf. The opening closes at once. Every mongoose retreats. The herd begins walking again, and the calf follows directly behind its mother. The mongooses travel beside them for a short distance, still aware of the ticks, but unable to find a safe route. The first hunter makes one final attempt near a rear leg. Before it can reach the skin, two buffalo move together. The space between their bodies disappears. The risk is now greater than the reward. The mongoose turns away. Within moments, it is back among the grasses, digging into the soil as though the encounter had never happened. For the mongoose family, the result is simple. A few ticks have become a few small meals. For the calf, the benefit is much smaller than it may appear.
They didn't get them all.
Several parasites
Not
may
enough,
have been
it seems.
removed, possibly reducing a limited amount of irritation. But most of the infestation remains. Dense clusters still cling near the ears, jaw, neck, belly, and legs. This brief encounter does not show that banded mongooses and African buffalo share a regular, specialized cleaning relationship. Unlike specialized cleaning partnerships involving oxpeckers, cleanerfish, or shrimp, what happens here is far less organized. The mongooses are opportunistic feeders. They have discovered an unusual food source and are exploiting it only while the herd allows them to remain nearby. The buffalo do not invite them, and the mongooses remove only a tiny fraction of the ticks. Still, the encounter reveals something important. Nature is filled with relationships that may last only seconds. One animal carries a burden. Their interests briefly overlap, even though neither animal depends upon the other. The calf gains a little relief. The mongooses gain a little food. But the balance remains fragile. For a few moments, hunger brings two completely different animals together. a tiny predator searching for insects, and a young buffalo carrying hundreds of parasites across the savannah. Neither animal understands the encounter in the way humans might. There is no rescue, no agreement, no promise that it will ever happen again. There's only opportunity, tolerance, and risk. Then the herd moves on. The mongooses return to the ground, noses low and claws digging, continuing the endless search that began at sunrise. Behind them, the young calf disappears among the dark bodies of the herd, still carrying most of its unwanted passengers. And across the dry African plains, one strange opportunity vanishes as quickly as it arrived.